Hello, welcome to welcome to my very first YouTube video. I'm really excited to get this channel up and running. Lots of content to come. Today is kind of going to be a life of Lexircise style where I'm going to take you behind the scenes. One of my coaching clients is competing in a virtual transformation competition. So I'm getting ready this morning, gonna have my tea, going to get ready, pack the car, and head from Barrie down to Durham region to visit Ashley. So more to come in the car because I don't have a lot of time. So I have so many ideas going around in my brain and I wanted to pick a good one to start off my YouTube channel, and what better to start with than the thing that I absolutely love the most, which is coaching and empowering my girls and making them feel so good and so confident about themselves while also learning to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle. So today is going to be a very special day for Ashley and for myself. Like, I get really connected with my girls, especially the ones that are working towards goals such as a transformation competition. And Ashley and I have been working together for 4 months now, and this is the first time I'm meeting her in person because of the state of the world. So we started working together in August, and she didn't even have a goal of stepping on a transformation stage. She didn't have a goal of competing. I actually reviewed her goals a couple weeks ago, and her 6-month goal was to fit into a pair of pants that she wore at her lowest weight. And in our 4 months together, so from August to December now, so 4 months, she has lost 30 pounds, which is, like, when you think about it, 30 pounds in 4 months is incredible. And I don't take the credit for that. Yes, I guided her on her journey, but she is the one that put in the work. She works 12-hour shifts. She's a single mom. And when she originally reached out to me, I think it was like the middle of September, saying, hey, I want to do this transformation show now because I believe in myself. I've seen the changes. I think I can do it. This is my goal. I had an honest conversation with her. I hopped on the phone and I said, look, this is going to be intense. Like, what you and I have been doing in the past was lifestyle balance. It was getting you to learn these healthy habits. It was sustainable. But if you want to step on a stage and if you want to do well, we've got to crank it up, and you are going to be pushed, but it's going to be so worth it. And I did. I pushed her a lot, and we saw incredible progress. I never dropped her calories below 1,600. So for the past 2 months or so, she's been somewhere between 1,600 and 1,700, and I have been manipulating her macronutrients within that. So she never felt deprived. She never felt hungry or that she was starving. We created more of the deficit through cardio. So there were weeks where she was doing 6 to 7 days of an hour and a half of cardio. And she fit it in with her schedule of being that single mom of her 12-hour shifts because she was so fucking determined to give this all that she got. And I'm so excited just to, like, meet her in person and see her, and I'm so proud of everything that she has done. And this has not been easy for her. She went through a breakup probably a month ago. So when you throw in life stressors on top of the global pandemic, on top of, pushing yourself, the way that she has evolved and the confidence that I have seen from her, especially these past 2 weeks where it's like, oh shit, I'm 12 weeks out, I'm 10 weeks out, I'm 8 weeks out, I'm 4 weeks out, and all of a sudden it's like, surprise, it's show day. And the process goes by so quickly that when you look back and you reflect, you're like, wow, like, I gave my all every single day for the past 3 months, and this is what I'm capable of. It shows you what you can achieve if you set a goal and you commit everything that you possibly can and you have the right guidance. So the competition that Ashley is doing is the IDFA Federation, which is the International Drug-Free Athletes Federation, I believe. It's not the CPA or the IFBB where you go to the Olympia, but there are a ton of different smaller federations like this that have local shows within Ontario, within Canada, and then, like, personally, I compete in the WBFF, which isn't big in Canada. It's more like Australia, Europe, and a couple in the States. So there's a ton of different federations that you can look into. The IDFA was just the one that Ashley picked because it was within the Greater Toronto area, so the competition itself was supposed to be hosted in Mississauga. And it was just aligned with the goal dates of December 13th was, you know, she wanted to compete before the end of the year. This was the only thing that was going on. And about 2 weeks ago is when we really found out that they were officially canceling the in-person show because Peel in Toronto and everyone went into total lockdown. And then we saw with the Toronto Pro qualifier for the CPA that was canceled even when they tried to move it to different regions. So, you know, winter 2020 is just in-person shows aren't possible. So the IDFA made the transition over to doing a virtual show where you submit photos and videos on the day of. And when Ashley said, hey, they're switching over from an in-person show to a virtual show, what's going on? I was like, oh, that's easy because I competed in the WBFF virtual show back in June this year. So the WBFF had virtual shows starting in like April, and there was one in June, and there was one in October. So I entered the June one personally for me, just for a goal to work towards during the pandemic and the lockdown when gyms were closed and everyone was mentally struggling. And I know personally, I thrive with a goal. So I loved having that goal date of, hey, June 5th is the day that I'm filming my videos to submit for this show. So I had the experience of taking the photos and doing the video, and I'll insert it here so you guys can see what I mean. So I submitted my photos, I submitted my videos, and I ended up winning the WBFF Wellness Pro Division back in June this year. It's a new division this year, so I had to kind of guess what sort of conditioning they were looking for the Wellness Division. They said they were looking for full, defined, but like not super shredded, not super lean. And at this point, when I personally started my competition prep, they announced that they were doing the show in like mid-April, so I had about 6 weeks to prep, and I was nowhere close to being able to get shredded for fitness, so I just said, hey, I'll try it out. I hired my own posing coach, Toby Harrison, who is the pro WBFF posing coach for pretty much anyone that does well, and his results speak to that. So when Ashley said, hey, we're switching over to virtual, I was like, cool, not a problem. I have done this before. I also had one of my clients, V, also compete in a virtual WBFF show with me back in June. She was doing the amateur division. So we are very comfortable with that. So in my car right now, I have my DSLR, I have my tripod. We're going to take some epic videos for this submission. We're going to take the best photos and then get some content just behind the scenes and talk with Ashley to see how she feels. So we're going to keep driving. Got about 45 minutes left, and we'll go from there. When you originally reached out to WBFF,
yes,
what was in your head?
Honestly, it was more a matter of, okay, like, I don't know what I'm doing, I need to lose weight, I need to do something. I've been trying so long to lose weight, it's almost like, it was literally a vicious cycle. I would lose weight, then I would gain it back, or gain it back and then some. So I was like, hey, you need some guidance, you need some sort of support, let's go.
Yeah. But what had you done before you came to us? Like, you still lost a lot of weight on your own.
I did. So I would say from like fall of 2019 till basically pre-COVID or pre-lockdown, I was doing really well, and then all of a sudden lockdown hit, and then my whole routine just got thrown out the window. I started getting complacent again, and I was like, okay. And it's funny because I actually got myself under 200. And then when I started with WBFF, I was like 207. I was like, I just basically gained all that. So yeah, basically why.
And what were your original goals? Like when you and I started,
was never to do a transformation competition.
No, literally it was just strictly weight loss and just get something sustainable that I could keep long term, forever basically.
And what was it that made you decide, okay, now I want to do a competition, I want this end goal, something to work towards?
I guess I just needed something to work towards, if that makes any sense. Like I think this is something that's just completely out of my comfort zone. Yes, I do seem like a very confident person, like my friends and all that will agree, but inside, like I had like very low confidence when I first started, like huge self-esteem issues that I carried with me like throughout my 20s and even in high school. So this is just something that I needed to do for me to be like, yeah, you know what, like you did it.
And let's talk about the prep process, because I got you on a call when you said, I want to do this show in December, and I told you it was going to be a lot, but what was it like?
Doing the actual prep?
Doing the prep.
Nothing I've ever done before. Definitely, it was hard. I've never had to do or endure cardio that many days of the week. Limiting my carbs was probably one of the toughest things. I'm like, hey, I'm basically eating like just some sort of protein for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever meal. Mentally though, I definitely think, or I know I got a lot stronger over the entire process. Yeah, like it just started to become routine all of a sudden. Like I would wake up Sunday mornings, which I would never do before work, and I would just start, I'm like, hey, you have to do cardio, done, it's on the way before work. So I was never that person. So that's kind of what I found as well during the prep. Just the mental growth that I gained was huge for me.
What did you tell yourself on those difficult days where it was like, ugh, I really don't feel like doing this, but I know I have to?
I kept telling myself, you didn't come this far just to come this far.
Love it.
Like you didn't do all this work just for nothing. Like you can do it. You've gained, like you've done how many days and how many months of this entire program or process. One day is not going to kill you. Like, let's go.
And how did you find the balance of like getting all of this in, your training and your cardio and your full-time job and being a single mom?
That was tough, to be honest, but at the end of the day, honestly, I just had to fit in where I could, because I work like 10 to 12 hour days. So a lot during the week, like I have split shifts, so I have like 4 hour breaks. So I would literally, and I work in Scarborough, so I would literally come home, do my workout, get my workout in, go back to work in the next 4 hours. So I just literally got it in where I could.
And how has this played a role in you being a mom, like setting a healthy example for your daughter?
She definitely sees that, you know, I'm eating a lot healthier. There are changes in my personality, my mood, just my overall lifestyle. So I'm hoping eventually that this will kind of rub off on her and that she sees it in a more positive way. Because I won't lie, like I haven't been the most positive influence in the healthy lifestyle portion. I would kind of let her see what she wants. So I'm hoping this will eventually just kind of rub off on her and she'll want to follow the same footsteps and just be a better role model going forward.
It has taken me years to really love myself and be kind to myself. I realized that this is the only body that I'm going to have for the rest of my life, and it's either you choose to be uncomfortable and unhappy and not confident in yourself, or you choose to be, or you choose to do something and you choose to be happy, confident, and comfortable in your own skin going forward. So I chose myself. I chose to be happy. I chose to finally put myself first. I noticed during my process all the small steps I was taking turned into big steps. I started hitting goals and milestones that I honestly never thought were even in arm's reach before.
Yes, that one felt good.
Honestly, like, I don't want to do any more.
No?
That is it. That is good. We can move on to the photos.
Let's do that.
I feel bad. Photos are really where, like, forget the video if you mess up and if you fumble. Doesn't matter, we already got that. This is where I just want you to be like as confident and genuinely happy as you possibly can. Okay, like think back to August. Okay, think back to where you were there, 207 pounds. Now here you are 4 months later, 30 pounds lighter, and a whole new Ashley.
Let's do this.
There you go.
All right, ready?
Where's the send button?
I don't know. This is your inbox. Where's the send button?
There it is. We're submitting.
And off it goes.
Yay! This journey that I've been on, it definitely has not been easy whatsoever. But it has been completely worth it every single day that I've been on it. I find I'm so much more happier and I am so much more confident in myself. I'm a lot more comfortable in my own skin. I realized being uncomfortable in your own skin and being unhappy is one of the hardest things to live through. Overall, I find this has just made me a better person and a better role model for my daughter, and that's honestly, that's all that I could ask for out of this journey.
What is next? I know this wasn't the opportunity to step on stage.
No, it wasn't.
What's next?
Well, I definitely want to keep going. I'm not where exactly I want to be yet, but I will get there. But no, I definitely want to do another show. This was fun. Even though it wasn't a full experience, I definitely want to aim for another show and get that experience.
We will keep working towards it.
Yes.
I want you to know that I'm so proud of you. You have been through so much. I put a lot on you. Like, I knew that you could take it, so I pushed. And you, every single week, you rose to the occasion. You reached out when you were struggling, and here we are right now. It's just, still have chills.
Oh, thank you.
It means so much. I'm so incredibly proud of you. 30 pounds in 4 months is not something a lot of women accomplish because they're not willing to make the sacrifices and put in the work the way that you have. And you have that discipline, you have that drive, and it can be applied to like anything outside of fitness.
Yeah.
And that's the most amazing part of my job, is watching you evolve to where you are today, and you're going to continue to get better.
No, thank you. Like, I'm honestly forever grateful for your guidance, support, everything.
One of the things that really stuck with me that my coach had told me was that one day all of these late nights, early mornings, sacrifices, one day they'll pay off. And then when you do things the right way, you'll end up winning. So here I am. I won.
It is now Wednesday. We are 3 days post-show, and the IDFA came out this morning with the compilation video of all the submissions. And after watching it, I am so proud to announce that Ashley placed second in her very first transformation show, which is incredible. And I did watch the entire show, and I have to say that Ashley's posing was better than some of the IDFA pros out there that have already gotten their pro card and they entered this way. She and I worked really hard on her posing routine. We were on video calls for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, 2 times a week leading up to the show. And that girl practiced. So on top of her cardio, on top of her training, on top of being perfect with her food, she was also spending a ton of time posing. And it really came through on the video submission. So Ashley, I am so proud of you. Like you said, you won, and this is just the beginning. We have more shows to crush in 2021, and if you are looking to step on a transformation stage or any sort of fitness stage, be sure to reach out and we can connect, and I can point you in the right direction of, you know, choosing which federation you want to go to and what the posing is like for that. Slide into my DMs on Instagram at Lexircise, or you can send me an email, Lexie, Lexie at ladytheffup.com, and we can be in touch soon. So this was my first video. Thank you guys so much if you made it to the end. I'm gonna be putting out a whole bunch of different topics. Some of them are gonna be science-based, some of them are gonna be a day in the life, some of them are gonna be behind the scenes. So whatever you want to see me put out in the future, just comment below, let me know, reach out on social, and I will see you next time.